My sister challenged me to make a game about a chinchilla character from her book. If you want to check out our books, links in the description. But here's how the game's going so far, and I'm really excited about it. Stay tuned! So, as I usually do when starting a new project, I created a design document to get a really good idea of what exactly I wanted to make. Then I created the Unity project and got cracking straight away. After setting up a quick rigid body, I prepared myself for the arduous task of creating a complicated movement script from scratch.
The controls of your indie platformer suck, and here are 5 reasons why.
Right, thanks Jonas. Movement attempt take 1. Cut. Take 2. Alright, let's try that again. It turns out making a movement script is quite a bit more difficult than I thought. After going through the code and editing it quite a bit and tweaking the various acceleration values that came with the script to match the feel I wanted for the game, I eventually ended up with a result I was really happy with. Today the majority of the work I wanted to get done was sprite animations. I've done sprite animations before, but never to this scale. I didn't know how many enemies I'd have and just how much work it would take to make animations for each of them. It was quite fun to draw the chinchilla character though. I'm decent at pixel art, but once you have to take 20 frames for an animation, that just gets really tedious for me. But I wanted to make the animations good, so I went to the pet store, hoping to find some chinchillas I could observe for reference. There weren't any, but there were some other cool animals. I ended up looking at another sprite sheet for reference instead, and got cracking on making all the rest of the animations. I know give or take how I wanted the animations to look, but I don't know much about good animation methodology. In the end, I was super happy with the result, all things considered. I realized just how difficult and tedious animations are to do, and I'll probably appreciate animation in games much more after this. Then it was time to set up the animations in-game and have the animations trigger in the code using Unity's animator controller system. It still needs a bit of work, but overall I'm super happy with the result. It feels really fun to control this guy as he bounces around. Well, it's pretty late, but I'm pretty happy with the animations. It feels really good. The running feels great. The jump needs work, but so far so good. I think that's all for today. Progress on this game is going to be a little bit slower than Glitch Dash. I'm not going to be working that much on it, obviously, but tomorrow is another day of classes, so I hope I still have time to work on it tomorrow, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I'm at the point where the running and jumping feel really nice in game, but the chinchilla still has to kill enemies somehow, so I had to implement a bite attack. I already had the animation set up, I just had to set up a trigger in the animator controller to be able to fire the bite animation from the falling state, so that the chinchilla would only bite as it's falling. I also had to sort out a few things with the jump states, and split them up into a jump, fall, and land animation, so that the character wouldn't look like he was landing mid-air half the time. I created a quick static enemy chinchilla to test the bite, and it looks kinda creepy. Let me know in the comments what you think of the chinchilla's teeth. Personally, I love it. It feels so random and wacky. Anyways, that was all I was able to get done today. I was pretty busy, but it was pretty good progress. So, I sort of slept in this morning, and I missed class unfortunately, but I won't let that stop me. I'm going to try to get a lot of work done for the game, and let's see how that goes. But first, it was omelet time. After breakfast, I started working on the enemy chinchilla. The plan was to get him to follow you around and try to jump at you to perform a bite attack. First, I had to set up the pathfinding that I used for Glitch Dash, but it turned out that the pathfinding project seems to work a lot better for top-down games or characters that don't worry about gravity. The chinchilla either fell really slowly or didn't fall at all, so we had some trouble there. I ended up scrapping the pathfinding altogether in favor of a simple left-right motion. I would have set up nodes beneath the platform so that the chinchilla would jump if he got to them and the player was above him. But as you can see, I also had some problems with that. What have I gotten myself into? I was pretty tired of working on the AI chinchilla, but finally added the same ground check collision I had put on the player, and it worked decently well. The chinchilla followed the player and didn't fall through the world. Here he is now able to jump at the player. Anyways, at this point I needed a break, so I went for a walk. But then, as I was pondering, something hit me. Okay, so the idea is to make this game from a platformer into an endless runner. Now, a lot is going to have to change if I want to do that, and the reason why I want to do that is because it'll make it a lot simpler, it'll increase player base, right? This can be a more casual game, and that'll allow more people to play it. I definitely want my family to be able to play this game, and they might enjoy that more. And this might also mean that I can use it to make some coffee bucks on the side, you know? I can release it on more platforms, and it might have a little bit more popularity that way. We'll see. So, knowing what I thought would be a platformer would actually become an endless runner, I got to work. The entire game would pretty much have to be rewritten. I had to completely redo the player movement since the world would be moving and the player would be standing still, and I actually ended up scrapping the enemy chinchilla too. Anyways, once I saw the chinchilla hop in place and the running animation begin playing, I realized that I was right about what this game should become, and with that, I went to bed. Now that I know the game is going to be an endless runner, it should be pretty easy to make the enemies, at least the logic of the enemies. The animations are probably going to be the hardest part. I'm going to need to do like a whole day or two just for the animations. Other than that, the mechanics should be going along pretty well right now. The only difficult thing will be to actually spawn everything. I do have some other stuff to do, so we'll see how that goes. So, with everything ready, it was time to do the real work. Well, that's it for the devlog so far. If you're interested in our books, check out my sister's book, The Lonely Girl and the Lonely Warrior, on Amazon, and check out my book, The Dragon Slayers. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my other devlogs, and stay tuned for updates on Chinchilla Run.